on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
All right, everybody, and welcome in to the J Ray's Spicy Jerk Championship 150 here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. The guys here at All Pro Sim have been putting on a show week in and week out, and it all is coming down to this $100 to win this race. And already drivers are coming out for qualifying, trying to put their stamp on it and get locked in to the main gig here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Got with me in the booth tonight my buddy, my friend, Matt Metler. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm fired up, ready to go. Like you said, it all comes down to this tonight. Couldn't have picked a better track. Lost in the sands of time back in the 90s. Went through the Renaissance. It's going to host the All-Star race this year in Cup, and this track is roaring right now as we're thundering through qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we're here, right? Because this is a iconic track. It's a place where champions have been made in the past. It's flat, it's nasty, and it is a lot of fun. This 0.5 mile speedway is hot today in North Wilkesboro. It is 91 degrees on the track right now. So this track is warm, and I know that these drivers are going to be feeling it as we're seeing some drivers take some laps here right now. Trent Smith taking some extra laps. Everybody else kind of already worked themselves through. Let's go ahead and see right now where the times are. As here we go. Let's get that tower up. Qualifying so far underway.
Yeah, going to the top of the board on the pylon so far with a lap of 19:18. That's going to be the 9 machine of Grayson Ward. P2 right now, as it stands, you got Trent Smith in that number 16 machine. Third's going to be occupied by that 28. And it's look how tight the times are at the top of the board, James. I mean, a 1918 and 1896. I mean, basically, these guys are within tenths of a second of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we take a look, there we go. Get our last time up, 19.181. That is fast right now, especially for some of these drivers who haven't really came out. And we're going to see right here, Corey Rogers is going to take a lap. Nope. He's going to go ahead and abort that one. That was his final lap. But yeah, these drivers, they're close. A lot of them right now, what is it? Up to 26th, I believe, are going to be locked in. But everybody else, they're going to have to fight this out. And some drivers in the back, Kevin Knutson, Gleason Smith right now, they're going to have to fight for it in the alphabet soup. And that's the fun thing I like about this league. Top 28, there it is. Top 28 are going to make it through to qualifying. So if you're Kevin Knutson, Ed Papanow, you're good. Gleason Smith, Greg Pawlowski, Austin Diamore, some of these drivers that are usually very good are going to have to fight it out in the last chance qualifier. So it's going to be a fun one, to say the least, Matt.
Yeah, last chance qualifiers always bring so much passion and so much dynamic. As like you said, if you don't make it in qualifying, if you can't stamp your pass to the big show, this is it. This is your last opportunity. So you know it's going to be all out, and these drivers are going to let it all hang out here once we get to that point in time. And you're right. Look at all these entries as I'm going down the board here right now. So we're certainly going to have some guys potentially on the outside looking in as it stands right now.
Yeah, and speaking of this being the championship, it's all but locked up now as we have Alex Papanini right now sitting on the front stretch, all but locked up the championship, but he is still putting $100 up for everyone to have a chance to win tonight. That's going to be fun. But, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, or if you're at home, you don't have to rise and take your hat off, but we sure would appreciate it if you gave some extra attention. We're going to go ahead and play our national anthem, as we like to do here for all of our championship races. So stick around and enjoy.
Your heat page goes.
As there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. And we are ready to get rocking and rolling here very shortly. As we'd like to, everyone, let us know where you're coming from today. Where are you watching? I know we have usually a lot of fans for Alex Papanini out here, as well as a couple of the other drivers. But let us know where you're watching from. Be sure and hit that like button. Get those algorithms pumping so that these drivers can get some more press for their causes, such as the 28 here, Alex Pumi in that throwback. And how could we forget Ritchie Smoking Barbecue? Some of the best barbecue you can find up there in McChesney Park, Illinois. And they're closed right here for the spring. That's how they do things up north when it's cold and wet and muddy. They don't want to mess with it, but they will be open in March. You can set your calendar, go down there, get some awesome barbecue if you're up north. Now, Matt, I know down south we have an abundance of barbecue, but it's harder to find up north. And this, I'm telling you, if you've never been to Ritchie's Barbecue, you are missing out.
You know, I've heard this quite a few times as we start to see the iRacing.com pace truck start to set the grid on the field. And you're right, being in the South for a few years now, I've forgotten just how important it was and to find those diamonds in the rough, if you will. You know, that's exactly what we got here with our sponsors on board tonight. You have to wait a little bit, but it's worth the wait, because once you get there, you take that first bite. It is oh so good and always oh so worth it.
Absolutely. As we are getting rocking and rolling, this is going to be the last chance qualifier. So these drivers did not make it in on time. So the top 4 are going to advance on to the big show, the championship, the ability. And we've seen people go back to front plenty of times there. So I know that these guys can do it. But up front, starting on your pole position, is going to be Gleason Smith. Then we have Greg Pulowski. Then we have Austin Diamore. Carter Stark.
In fifth, we got...
Yeah, go ahead. Christopher Reardon, and then Thomas Frisch. Finish me out.
You got it, boss man. In 7th, starting the night in the 91 machine, that's going to be Jeff Rogers. In 8th, Ryan Smith. 9th belongs to the 24 machine of Josh Nelms. In 10th, DJ Smith. 11th, occupied by Lewis Robert. And in 12th, starting in the final position tonight, remember, only 4 can advance. That's going to be the 36 of Kyle Shear. So there's going to be some torn egos out there tonight when this last chance qualifier is done, because like you said, only 4 can advance.
Yeah, only 4 can advance, and what a way to lose to end the season, right? You come out here, you've raced the whole season, and then you kind of put yourself into a spot here in the end of it, having to race through the last chance qualifier. But if you're Ryan Smith, Jeff J. Rogers, I tell you what, keep your head down, keep trying to make some moves, because nothing is guaranteed in this league. You don't know if they're going to be content. You know, usually Greg Pulowski and Gleason Smith, you'd think, oh, they're up front, they're going to be content to line it out. No, these guys are battling for position as well. Closest, trying to get close to the front. They're battling, you know, trying to stay away from all the carnage. So something definitely to think about as these drivers get rocking and rolling here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Another spot probably going to be a hot spot on the racetrack, a position you potentially might not want to be in until you cross the start-finish line, and that's that transfer spot right around P4 where that 92 machine sits right now. You know, just off of that back bumper, there is going to be a war raging on this racetrack. Mental toughness certainly going to have to come into play, especially when you're riding that bubble spot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that right now, Christopher Reardon has it, but he's on top. So, he's on bottom. Carter Stark has that position, and he's on top. And at North Wilkesboro, you've got to be able to get down to the bottom, arc into these turns, because it's flat. You are not going to find any love upstairs. As the pace truck lights are off, he's going to dive down pit road. Initial start is going to be on the green flag as they're going to get him tightened up here. Gleason Smith watch and bury the flag man with all his might, and we are green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen. Gleason Smith getting a huge jump on the inside with Greg Pulowski on his outside. Austin Diamore trying to work to the inside of the 17, as well as look at that 46, Christopher Reardon. He's going to work into it. Push to the 92 high.
Sorry to cut you off there, but we got carnage all over the racetrack on lap 1 as the 46 takes a nasty ride. That's going to unfortunately end his night early. That's going to be Christopher Reardon. But just like you were saying, James, so much on the line tonight. You throw a $100 bounty in the mix out there for the winner. You knew these boys were going to race hard, and sometimes wrecking is a byproduct of hard racing.
Yeah, as we see the 46 here, Christopher Reardon, he had this inside And this was a little bit earlier. Yeah, it had the inside and then dived to the outside to try and stop the 3. Pinched the 92, a little bit of a fake out, and then right into that right rear quarter panel, and that is going to do it for you all day long. His race might not be over. That's a lot of damage, but you still got to try and get out there. Try and get out there and see if you can make something happen, because they're going to be racing up front. But hey, Thomas Frisch is liking it. He is now in the transfer spot, up 2 positions in that 54 machine.
Yes, certainly that first round of caution went in his favor, like you said, as he's now occupying that 4th and final transfer spot. The 8 machine, Gleason Smith, he got a great launch on that initial green flag, rotated the center of the corner very well, and then they kind of fanned back out from there as we saw the result of just some high-octane racing out there on the racetrack. But once again, we find ourselves back under the yellow. Gives these drivers a chance that said to themselves, you know what, maybe I should have did that differently. Well, now you have another opportunity here at a restart as we re-rack them and stack the deck one more time.
Yeah, single file restart here. They did not make it a lap around. That is a house rule. If you don't make it a lap around, you're going single file. You're going to have to learn how to drive and learn how to pass. So that's good for Greg Pulowski. I tell you that much, as now it's on the leader. Gleason Smith going to get rocking. Craig Pulowski not far behind. Oh, misses a shift. The 3 of Austin D'Amore gets to the inside, and the 54 comes to the outside. Stuck in the middle with you is the 17 of Greg Pulowski, and he is going to get past here, and look who it is. It's the 92 of Carter Stark. A little bit extra front downforce there.
Yeah, a little bit extra front downforce there, but like you said, don't worry about the damage. You got to be in it, and that man is making the most of it right now as he's charging through the middle lane. Oh, he's going to get loose for the center of the corner. Great recovery as he's under duress right now from that 91 machine.
He is, but the big one, Greg Pulowski, now in 4th position. How much does he want to push on Austin D'Amore here? I've got to think not too much. You got to be content unless the 3, that Bass Pro Shop 3 is slowing you down. Be safe. Don't get in that grass. North Wilkesboro will get you out of shape in a hurry, as Gleason Smith is absolutely gone, but Thomas Frisch is now up 4 positions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That Carolina grass, that's like ice out there on the racetrack.
Oh, the leader. Gleason Smith gets sideways.
Yeah, unexpected. Found himself in a tumultuous position there as he was completely sideways out there on the racetrack, but he's going to gather it back up. That's going to allow that 17 there to close back in on his bumper just a little bit. And as you can see right now, these top 4 drivers, they have a little bit of a cushion they're working right now. So like you said, unless you're pressing the issue out there on the racetrack, as we see the 17 here dive bombing the 3, working the bottom side of the racetrack, all is fair in racing and war right now as it stands, as far as the transfer spots are concerned.
Yeah, and these guys should have made a pact before the race. Hey, we're going to stay out of each other. We don't want to wreck each other out for a transfer spot, especially right now with Jeff J. Rogers. He's got his hands full with that damaged 92 machine. But tell you what, Gleason Smith, he needs a new pair of brown pants after that one, because he was completely sideways, still rocking that right rear, that left rear just spinning on some of these turns. As the 54 of Thomas Frisch, I got to think he's kind of laying off here. He's not pressing as hard as he can. As there he goes to the inside, but you can see where he started braking. He is not pressuring the 8. He's just getting to the inside because he's a little bit faster.
Right, and rightfully so. That's a smart race car driver that knows this car, if it survives this race, it has to transfer over into the main event. So if you have an opportunity out there on the racetrack to take it easy on your equipment, that's only going to pay dividends in the future. I could not agree with this decision more right now.
Yeah, especially with the way that these drivers are racing. This is just the last chance qualifier. These guys are going to have to line up next to each other again here in about 10 minutes and work their way through the field. So if you're not making any enemies, that's a good place to be. If you can be in the back of the pack without anybody trying to wreck you, because you're already going to have your hands full trying to make it through this wild pack of wars that they're going to get here coming up very shortly for the main.
Yeah, wild pack of boars, and why not some great pork to go along with it too. But you're absolutely right. You folks at home watching, make sure you smash that like button, ring the bell, become part of the SRM racing family. We got you covered 7 nights a week as we continue to see these guys turn laps here around the racetrack. Tiptoeing just a little bit. You can see them backing off early in the corners, backing up the racetrack just a little bit as they rotate the center, picking up the throttle a little late. But for everyone inside the top 4 right now, Thomas Frisch, Gleason Smith, Greg Podolsky, and Austin Moore, everything is fine and dandy. It's when you drop back outside that comfort zone, back to 5th, Jeff J. Rogers is potentially the first man on the outside looking in. Let's see if he can try to push harder and close that gap before time expires.
Yeah, and he's going to need some help. Austin Diamore's going to have to press Greg Podolsky and slow these drivers down. But right now, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Only 4 transfer spots. So Austin Diamore needs to be driving. You can't slow down trying to pass somebody because Jeff Rogers is showing that he's going to do it. He's getting down there. He's getting low. He's been saving. He looks like he's got a rhythm. He is close to Austin Diamore, where if I was Austin's crew chief, I'd be saying, hey, drive out the front windshield, but be aware.
Yeah,
Jeff is coming.
Yeah, Jeff is coming for certain right now, and he's kind of been there lurking, kind of like the Predator, just letting you just forget about him, running your race, laying off a little bit. And while you guys were doing that up front, he may be able to save just a little bit of tires. And now he's full send, and he's closing in on the back of that 3 machine and that Bass Pro Shops car, putting him under duress right now. You got to be able to drive out that front window. Oh, as he really sends it in the corner. He's going to slide it up the racetrack, but he should have more. He should have enough time potentially for one more crack at this before we're done.
That was the last crack, and boy, it was close. He was inches away from doing what he meant to do, which is put that bumper, use the chrome horn, as Thomas Frisch takes the win in the 54.
That was only the last chance qualifier. That wasn't a heat race. That wasn't even the main event. So look for this to go up a whole other level here tonight in prime time. The nighttime's the right time after all. So now we got this one. Last chance qualifier is in the history books tonight. James, where do we go from here?
Well, we're going to take a look at our heat results, go over what went down here in North Wilkesboro. Thomas Frisch, of course, started there in second place, or actually Thomas Frisch was the one who started in like 6th, but he made it, came back to win it. Gleason Smith, second place. Greg Podolsky and Austin Diamore, your drivers that are going to transfer to that main event. Who did not make it, Jeff Rogers was so close. In fact, I wish these guys were in the Discord. I'd love to talk to them, but unfortunately we don't. Not really participating in the Discord. That's all right. Carter Stark in 6th, Christopher Reardon, Ryan Smith not making it to the feature. They're going to have to take a walk and watch this thing from the stands. So welcome in if you are watching. But right now we're going to be doing a 5-minute warm-up. While they're doing that, we are going to keep the lap times up on our J Ray's Spicy Jerk Championship 150 ticker. And we will be right back, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, warm-up is over. If you saw our awesome ad, you can go over and buy some merch. Help us out a little bit. If not, go to Ritchie Smoking Barbecue, buy something that you can get it mailed to you. That's the crazy part. You can call these guys, call somebody you know up in McChesney Park near Rockford there, and get this beef, get that stuff sent to you, heat it up, and boy, it is, get it overnighted. But get a plane ticket, put it on there. It is absolutely great, and we appreciate the sponsors coming, as well as J. Ray's Beef Jerky. You can go on their website, and the best thing you can do, if you're going to a trade show, you're going to hand out, and somebody says, oh, you should hand out pins or whatever everybody else is handing out. No. Go to J. Ray's Jerky, get your logo put on a piece of jerky, on a bag of any of their jerky. You can pick out what you want, and you can hand these out at trade shows with your logo, your name, your number, and who's going to remember that little pencil or pin they throw away? Nobody. But who's going to remember the people who gave them some beef jerky? That is the smartest thing I've ever seen. We're going to use it here at Sim Racing Media. I guarantee it. Next time you see us at a racetrack, ask for some J. Ray's Jerky, because we are going to be doing that here shortly. But Matt, we are going to get started. 150 laps here in the championship. $100 to the race winner. Everything else is off the table. So this is pretty much a record, checkers or wreckers for most of these drivers.
Yeah, as a race car driver now, knowing what I know, as they're locked and strapped in that car, I'm turning off the green lights. I'm seeing red out the front windshield, especially knowing I got 100 stacks on the line. If I come across that finish line first, I'm not trying to make friends. I'm going to make plenty of frenemies out there tonight, because we're all got one common goal, and that is me in victory lane. So look for that intensity to really pick up here as we get ready to let these boys loose.
As we have the one to go already, Brett McCoy is going to be starting in that pole position with Tyler DeShane on his outside. Then we have Carter Nilsson and Corey Rogers. James Pileski, Tristan Swanson, Scott Gardner, and Jackson Lewis. Jared Appel and Travis Wilson round out your top 10. Anthony Donta, Trent Smith, Alex Papini there in the 13th spot. Look for him to be in the front. He always gets there as long as he can stay out of trouble, which he stays out of trouble. Grayson and Weston Ward right next to each other in 16th there. Jeremy Bingham, Garrett Stratoga, Randy Sargent, Todd Aldridge as well. Steve Wright, Ed Papanow, Kevin Knudsen, Thomas Fritsch, Gleason Smith. As we are going to go one more time around, and we are about to be racing. And strap yourselves in, folks. If you've got the popcorn popping, make sure you get it, because it is going to be action from start to finish. Normally some cautions, but man, it's going to be a race of survival until about the 50 lap to go, and then it's all in. Track position.
I mean, survive and alive, like you just said. Attrition, story of the first leg of this race, if you will, if you want to break it up into sectors or stages mentally as a race car driver. But these 32 boys are about to roar here to life as we come down into the restart zone, and we stand on the gas pedal as we go thundering down into turn one. Everyone currently right now chasing that number one machine of Brett McCoy.
Brett McCoy off to a huge lead. Tyler DeShane, Corey Rogers, Tristan Swanson fighting it out. Biggest battle for the track right now. This is for fifth. Carter Nilsson and the 100 of Tristan Swanson still side by side. Everybody up front lying down, ready to get away from this pack.
Yeah, everyone's trying to get as far as they can away from each other right now, but that's just not the case. This track's only a half-mile wide, and there's just not that much room, as we're already kissing the wall. The 28 machine is going to come up and give a love tap to the outside wall as he's battling hard inside of Cole Trickle. Well, the paint scheme made famous by Cole Trickle back in Days of Thunder. He's got the 510 on the bottom.
Car working the bottom line, that outside line. These tires are going to hold up on the outside for only a short period. So if you're in the outside like the 37 of Travis Wilson, you're going to have to make those tires work while you can, because that is not guaranteed after about 6 laps here, as they have released the green balloons. There's a battle in the beginning. Corey Rogers and Tyler DeShane battling for second. Outside still trying to hold up. That's not going to last for long, but right now they are working it. As to the inside goes Corey Rogers.
Yeah, they're going to run that outside line probably a little harder they would under normal race circumstances. But tonight, this is a little bit different. All the gloves come off in prime time, and they are going for a cash prize here at the end of this thing. So you know what? Some of these drivers, like we're seeing right now, still abusing the outside of that racetrack. Yes, it's the fastest way around here, but those tires are going to pay for it here shortly, as you see starting to finally get single file here through about the first top 10, top 15 drivers.
Caution is out. Caution is out. The 10 of David McKee in the back. Gonna get it going here. Gonna beat the pace truck, that Chevy pace truck, looking gorgeous, but a lot of damage on that 10. And this is a half mile. You do need some of that aero that these guys are not used to needing. So be careful here, as let's take a look at what happened.
Yeah, absolutely right. Couldn't have said it better myself. We're not, this isn't Martinsville. This isn't Five Flag Speedway per se. You're going to need some of that downforce. You're going to need that aero. Certainly going to have a little bit of a torn up race car. Try to minimize those mistakes early on as much as possible.
It looks like David McKee just got love tap, tried to go up a little bit on the 86. Let's see what happened here from the in-car view. Oh, he tried to get in the racing line, and it was blocked off there. Luckily, doesn't look like too hard a hit to that inside wall.
Yes, certainly could have been much worse there as he makes contact with that inside wall. Did a great job of kind of getting loaded up there before he made contact. He should be okay, at least for right now anyhow. Because like you said, we're back under caution as that iRacing.com pace truck carries the torch around this field right now.
Yeah, and if you're up front, you're telling them, hey, clean it up back there. I want to be able to finish this thing. Brett McCoy got a really good jump on the first restart. Well, not a jump. He just saw the flag because it is on the flag. So the way these restarts are going to work, the initial restart is on the flag man, but from here on out, it's on Brett McCoy, and that he's the number one in the ticker. If we can get it working. Of course, our ticker's always having troubles with these heats, but the number one on the ticker, but the 36 on the track. But he's going to have the button. He's going to have the opportunity to move, and talk about move. Jackson Lewis, he had to take a couple weeks off, but he won a lot of races before he did, so he is always trouble. He is up 6 positions so far on that outside line. He's going to be in 4th position.
Yeah,
I'm going to see the restart from his view.
Yeah, let's go on board with him. As Action Jackson there, you ain't wrong. Man, he really came flying out of the hole in the early stint of this one as he's up 6 positions. Hey, shout out to Tristan Swanson as well. He's up 5 spots. And the same at second. Don't look now, but Corey Rogers in that 17, he's up 4 positions as well.
As we are rocking and rolling, outside line still going to have a little bit of grip, but not for long, as we take a look on board at Jackson Lewis as the 36 gets gone. Gonna have to find your way down there eventually.
You're going to have to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. And I know it's so tempting to run that outside line. You're able to carry so much speed through the corner and down the straights. You're going to be able to have an advantage. But in that advantage, I promise you, like you've been saying, is going to go away. These guys are probably starting to scream, I need to get down, I need to get down, as they start to feel those Dr. Feelgoods become feel-bads already early on in this one. But look how tight this racing is. It's like a crazy train as they are snake and jostling for positions everywhere from second place on back.
Yeah, second place, Tristan Swanson at 100 to the inside of 36. 36 is going to have to drive a little bit defensively as he loses it on the inside. He's going to be pushed to the outside. Give the lead to Tristan Swanson right now as Jackson Lewis staying out of trouble. He's to the inside as well. And there we're seeing it. Hemorrhaging positions on the outside as everybody behind him lined up. And the 36 still, big wreck.
Big, oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. Multiple cars involved, flying end over end as he's barrel rolling down the front straightaway, the back straightaway. As mayhem strikes once again here in a flash at North Wilkesboro.
End over end, but he's righted as somebody's has some engine damage ahead of him.
Yeah, like you were saying, things happen quick, fast, and in a hurry, and sometimes you just don't have a chance to react. And we often refer to that as a racing deal, and as painful as it is, that's what it seemed like it was to me out there on the racetrack that triggered this catastrophic accident right here out on the racetrack.
Let's take a look, Trent Smith's point of view, and then we'll take a look at the wreck. This happened in front of Trent. and the checkup, and then just meleeed. Oh, as the 151 gets into him, and there we go, up and around. 3, 4, it ends up on his wheels.
Yeah, he went for a ride. He's probably wanting to come down pit road at least for a new racing suit, a set of tires, and some skivvies at minimum. After that was wild. I don't care if it's sim racing or not. That had to be just intense on board with, from his point of view. Gonna have to shake that one off and continue to push hard though here tonight. Is don't look for any of these competitors out there on the racetrack to give an inch, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now.
Absolutely. That started with the 51 as we see Alex Papini trying to get through. Might be your drive of the race here on board with Alex Papini. As this is in the turn, hard to adjust. Look, as he goes to the outside. Oh my gosh, just barely. And then it's not over. Get some help, but then... Whew.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say that's definitely the drive of the race, if not possibly the drive of the season. I mean, just when you think it's over, it's not over, and then you're back on the defensive again.
So this is where it started, the 151 of Jared Appel, and then, the 37 gets loose, causes a huge checkup, gets into the 33, and then nowhere for him to go at the bottom. And then...
Yeah, just disastrous here for so many big names here early on in this one. But hey, check it out. The lights on top of that pace truck are off. You know what that means? We're getting ready to bring North Wilkesboro back to life as V8s come roaring. Coming out of turn 4 right now, those pace truck lights are off. That's going to give that 100 a twist, and Swanson the button. He's going to stay it on the loud pedal. He's going to give it hell. Going down the front stretch, it's a drag race between the 100 and the 7 machine of Jackson Lewis. The 100 of Tristan Swanson's going to be the victor for right now, but that 7's closing in right all over the back bumper, letting him know, hey, I'm knocking on the back door. He's going to poke it down to the inside of the racetrack as he's going back towards you looking for more.
Jackson Lewis has the lead. He's going to make the pass expertly, but the crossover incoming as the 7 tries to angle this in. There's 2 lines here. There's the fast line and the defensive line, and Jackson Lewis elects to take the fast line there. That's going to give him the lead. Farther on back, here 3 wide, the 37 and the 5, and Alex Papini trying to work the inside. He's going to clear through. That for the top 10 position, because they're going to start lining out here. We got a ton of laps. And these drivers have to know they've got it's a balancing act if you're in the mid-pack here. It's a balancing act between trying to stay where you can be safe, but also your field position's so important because you got to stay out in front of those accidents. And these drivers know that, as behind them, Brett McCoy, and then, of course, he started out on the front, falling back here to the 37 of Travis Wilson.
Yeah, like you said, the 37 there, Travis Wilson, and you can look to shift to the 36. He's already has some moderate damage to the front of that race car. It's a balancing act, and you have to be able to pace yourself. And what I mean by that is you have to pace that race car. You have to take care of it. Take care of those brakes, take care of those fenders, take care of those tires. And when you're racing as hard as they are right now on the racetrack, that doesn't usually work out well for most of the drivers in the field. So look for these guys to kind of get into that routine we see historically here at Wilkesboro, right? Hit your marks, hit your entries of the corners, rotate, and get into that rhythm. Start logging some laps. Let some things happen in front of you. You got to make sure you're still able to be around when those laps start to count down. As you're back on through the pack, still at 37. He continues to pull ahead. Just a little bit over the 36 machine as we got racing going on all over the racetrack.
Absolutely. Jackson Lewis, your leader, he is trying to check out. He has the best opportunity to do so. and he's going to try and do it without getting into lap traffic. He's going to have to battle some lap traffic. The biggest field we've had in a feature, 32 cars. A couple of them are already out, from what I can see. Trent Smith, Jared Appel, Caleb Adrian, and Carter Nilsson, unfortunately, out of this thing so far. But Tristan Swanson has his hands full as he's trying that inside line. He's having to defend against Corey Rogers. And that's where we're at right now. You've got to expect some more cautions because there's going to be pits in the late models. You do not want to come down under green. You are not going to have a fast pit stop. You're looking at about 40 seconds on a 19 second. You're going to go a couple laps down. But if it does come to that, these drivers have to be ready for some issues because these are not NASCAR machines that have the absolutely fantastic brakes, those big Brembos on them. No, these are little bitty brakes, and it definitely shows. These drivers having to work those tiny brakes, keep them cool, take care of your tires, take care of your brakes, take care of everything. As the 17 of Corey Rogers is pretty content right now to not cause something up, but they've got to get in a rhythm. If you got to make a pass, you got to make sure you make that pass on the stretch and get to that inside. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. As big wreck, 117 and the 17.
Oh, you ain't kidding. We had a big wreck out there out of the racetrack a little bit further on back. As yet again, Calamity Corner strikes here at North Wilkesboro, and we got multiple cars torn up. Oh, he is crab walking like the new Hummer EV. That's not good for the 13 machine out there as we see smoke billowing out of multiple cars here as we fall under caution here once again. But I'm going to say, James, that 13 looks to be done for the evening, unfortunately, as he finds himself at the wrong spot at the right time on the racetrack.
Yeah, let's take a look there because these drivers were trying to get to the inside wall, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Take a look. I think this happened a little bit in front of the 13. We'll catch that once it happens. The 54, I'll make mental note of that. As it was just a parking lot, and then the 17 clocks on the 3, bends that chassis out of line, and that is going to be trouble.
Yeah, certainly not what any of these drivers wanted to see, especially Papineau there, as he got popped several times there in that 13 machine. All this carnage, all these race cars seeing so much damage early on in this one. Getting back to what we were talking about, you have to slow down at some point, right? Sometimes going slow is fast. You mentioned tiny brake rotors. That builds a ton of heat. So you want to be able to save these brakes, pump these brakes, manage this race car. I guarantee you guys at home right now, you're going to see some of these names further on back in the field that may not have shown a ton of speed yet, but that is by design. They understand what is going to transition over these upcoming laps, and they're going to strategically place themselves to make a charge when it's right for them and for that team. So don't go anywhere. If you guys are hanging out with us right now, you're new to SRM again, make sure you smash the like button, ring the bell, so you'll get notified every time we're live with that high-field eSIM racing action.
All right, let's take a look. One more. Brett Edmonds, his cockpit. As the 54, we saw that issue. Looks like somebody got bent out of shape, pushes the 54 up. And then, wow! In the gas right when it counts. Brett Edmonds lives to race another lap. Just barely.
Barely.
As,
but sometimes,
go ahead.
Sometimes that's just literally how close it is. Sometimes you come out on the other side untouched, and other times you wind up like the 13, all wadded up on pit road. It's just look at the draw.
Absolutely. So, folks, like we said, go ahead and smash that like button. We don't make a dime off of likes here at Sim Racing Media. What that does is it confuses the algorithm. It not really confuses it, but it lets them know that you're liking what you're seeing. So if you're watching on TV, just pull out your phone there, find that like button. You know what? If you want to subscribe, we just got 3K subscribers, but we have racing 7 nights a week most of the time. So you can find us there. As a couple of drivers electing to come down pit road, including our leader, Jackson Lewis. So that's going to give the lead over to Tristan Swanson. He has the button as that pace truck leaves. He is going to get him going after he stacks him up, but Scott Gardner gets a huge jump on the outside. Pays for it as the 13 gets the high line loose, but not too far back. Alex Papini's making his run. He's got the outside of the 5 right now as they are trying to figure it out for second. Tristan Swanson and Grayson Ward, as it's not there yet, but he elects to make that pass on the outside. The 9 of Grayson Ward looking to come back into this 13 positions up from where he started.
Yeah, 13 positions up from where he started. We also have some other big movers of this race as we stand right now. Let's give a shout out to that 13 machine piloted by Thomas Frisch. He is up 16 spots in that 136 machine. So big boom. Oh, as we're under caution here again, as the iRacing.com pace truck has to once again make his presence felt out here on the speedway.
Tyler Deshane involved in this one. He was involved in the last one as well. So let's take a look. Oh, 61 just comes up and grabs him. He was just trying to put down laps and didn't know anyone was there. Catches the 33. Luckily, it looks like no harm, no foul there in the back of the field.
Yeah, that's when, as a race car driver, you're sitting there going, what in the heck? Oh, little extracurricular activities there, letting him know that he didn't appreciate that. But I'm going to defend him a little bit. He probably had no idea that was even about to happen, let alone was it intentional by the act of that race car driver.
No, not at all. But these are late models. These are guys that race. We talk about it every time. They race in real life, Rockford Speedway, in their final season this year. So go out and support your local small tracks, because they are turning into Walmarts and parking lots faster than you can flip a coin. So go support those local tracks. That's how these guys are able to make their money, and get out and support your local short track racing, because these guys drive. They want to get out there, and these drives for these race car haulers are getting longer and longer and longer. So go spend the $10, buy yourself a hot dog and a hamburger, take the kids out, take the earplugs, and you are going to have an absolute blast. You can catch these guys racing in real life. Like I said, their final season in the Rockford Speedway. A couple of these drivers all over the place, but that's the one that we've got on some of the cars here. I believe Ed Papanow was racing it last week, not so much this week. But support those local tracks. They are not meant long for this world if we don't. So Scott Gardner, Tristan Swanson going to be your front two. Take a look at a couple drivers that have pitted, some drivers to watch come through the fields here. Corey Rogers came through, looked like he just got fuel. James Polewski came back, got some tires, as well as Jackson Lewis. 3 sets of tires, and they don't help you if you don't use them. That's what these drivers know. So they're going to come out and try and get a little bit of an advantage here, see if anyone else is going to take them. But the yellow flag laps, these cycles, they matter. These cycles, the yellow flag cycles, they heat up the tires, and that's almost just as bad as racing, is getting those tires heated up. And once they cool down on these cautions, it could diminish the life of those tires exponentially. So that's something to make note of if you're up front and you're thinking, oh, these have just been pace laps. No, it still messes with your tire life.
No, it absolutely does, and it changes the molecular compound of that tire. So you're right. It's not like, hey, everything's all gravy. As we get ready to set to turn these boys back loose here again, Scott Gardner's, he's going to stand on it to double the 100 car. He's going to follow in pursuit, currently occupying the P2 position, just on back. You got Grayson Ward, Anthony Donna, Weston Ward, as they all are doing battle 2 by 2 behind positions 1 and 2 right now.
The 9 and the 510, that Ford City, or that City Ford, is looking like it is trying to make a move. It's going to get to the inside, but here comes Alex Papini trying to find something, has to get on the brakes and push the outside. That is not going to help his momentum, as he's going to bump 3 wide here. The 23 is going to back out of it. That pay to win 23 dropping behind as the 37 and the 28 still banging.
Oh, we're still collided, and we're still once again 3 wide as he's going to drift off the corner. What a save by the 23 machine out there on the racetrack at Kelsey Rogers.
Everybody behind him, a good move on them to get out of that gas. You got to be careful here. You don't want to run into somebody, as we got a battle for the lead. Scott Gardner and Tristan Swanson. Tristan making his move, coming up the track, as they are going to be fighting it out here into 1 and 2. Give it to Scott Gardner again, as he is able to hold that down, but he is loose on the outside, opening the door for Tristan Swanson as the 9 just has to figure out who he thinks is going to win this battle by backing him up.
Yeah, well, you can't put the power down off the corner. You slide up the racetrack. That's going to open the door and bring the 100 car Watson, wow, contact, major contact there, as they are just ferocious right now on the racetrack. Oh, we find ourselves 3 wide again. They touch just in back of this battle for the lead.
As Travis Wilson got a little bit of a touch there, he got to the outside, but what a save. The drivers up front know what they're doing, as Alex Papini going to work to the inside of Weston Ward for 4th position, as he knows to lean on that outside car. He's up front now. He's in the big leagues. He knows that these drivers are going to drive out that driver's side window just as much as they are the windscreen, as they are working it. Give it to Alex Papini, as Tristan Swanson has another contender for the lead. Grayson Ward trying to make it up there for the win here on lap 50 of 150.
Yeah, lap 50 of 150s, we talk about comers and goers, and here comes Grayson Ward in that number 9 machine. He's up 14 spots from where he started. Car's looking nice and clean, and is driving really good right now as he's able to get down into the corner and rotate the center of that race car. It looks like he's able to get good throttle up off the corner. He's just painting a bead all over the back of Tristan Swanson right now, trying to get him to drive out that rear window, make a mistake, and if he sees just a little bit of daylight, I promise you Grayson Ward is going to take it.
That's the key here. A lot of these cars, they're working with setups, but they're pretty homogenized. You can't change too much on these late models, and that's what we're seeing is, oh, Alex Papini gets a little bit bent out of shape. He's on the inside. He's going to try and make this turn through the grass, as he's going to come up in front of the 118, gets around. Caution.
Yeah, as he goes for the Earnhardt pass in the grass, he's going to get contact from behind. He's going to get spun around, and once again, we are under caution. But more damage to these race cars, more drivers getting put in these situations due to this high-profile racing out there on the racetrack. And once again, North Wilkesboro does not get enough credit for how tough and how treacherous this racetrack is. And she claims another race car here tonight. Well, maybe not claims, but definitely implements some more damage here on some of these fierce competitors out there on the racetrack.
Absolutely. Let's see what happened. Even though we were watching it live, there's a lot of cars electing to come down pit road. Alex Papini saves it, and then this could have been way more treacherous. The 118, nothing he could have done there, but look at Jackson Lewis working through there. Could have been a lot more treacherous for that, but Alex Papini able to get it rocking and rolling. Let's take a look one more time with a better camera. As this started when the 5 bumped him out.
It gave him a shot.
Could have been so much worse, as Alex, there's nothing you can do. Try and stay in the race. And then goes around, gets a little bit extra aero work done. He's back on the track here, as he's going to try and get some of that damage repaired. As Jackson Lewis, we said his name, he came down pit road on lap 32 a couple cautions ago. He's going to be your race leader, as everyone else from 5th on back, starting with Jeremy Bingham, elected to come down pit road. And look at that 66 paint job there. Ritchie Smoking Barbecue repping the title sponsor.
Yeah, and that Smoking Barbecue is HOT right now. Not only when you get it fresh from them, but also out here on the racetrack right now as well. Jackson Lewis, let's talk about some comers and goers here. Jackson Lewis up 9 spots. He's your leader. James Polzinski, he's up 3 spots. Look at the 19th, up 19 spots, the 87 of Brent Edmonds. He's been coming in a hurry. And Garrett Storyaka, he's been following him right up through there. He's up 17 spots as well. The top 5 right now has the biggest movers of the race. That's 19 positions on the 87, 17 positions to the 177, and up 13 positions to the 14. Those are some guys driving days out or lights out right now at this point in time of the race.
Absolutely. Pit strategy is going to come into effect. This is a long race. This is a championship. This is for $100 purse. It don't matter if you're Alex Papini and you've locked up the championship. You got to make it happen here. As we're going to line them up 2 by 2 behind the pace car. Brett Edmonds, take note, Brett Edmonds in that 87 machine has not came down pit road. So he is going to be on some old tires. Let's hopefully that he can make it work behind some of these drivers that have elected to come down pit road. Is the pace car going to come down? Jackson Lewis, no stranger to taking the green, as he is going to get a huge jump on the 93 of James Pileski.
Yeah, beautiful restart there by Jackson Lewis. He gets some good forward bite out of those Goodyears and able to hold shot off on the field and give himself a preferred line as we're single file through the first two as we look on back through the field. That 87 machine who's on 50-plus lap tires, he is under siege right now from all sides of that race car as you currently see the 36-9 working to the top side of the racetrack. That 99 machine, I'm sorry, trying to be courteous there and give him just a little bit of room, but that's going to back him up. You just can't do that with this type of racing right now. He's going to either have to pick up his speed or get out of the way because it's only a matter of time before he's going to get turned and he can't get his pace up.
Absolutely, as we're 3 right behind him. Look at Alex Papini trying to get up there, gets up into the 37. Travis Wilson goes around. Still, oh, that pay to win 23 machine. Kelsey Rogers. We've seen this all season from our fan favorite Alex Papini. If you see that 28 in the rear view, especially after an incident, you better be on your P's and Q's because he is going to race you hard. And that's what we see here as they are stacked up almost 4 wide. Alex Papini. Oh, he gets bumped. That's what it was. The slow down force to the bottom, and then the 37's got to be aware that that has just happened.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And some of these drivers, right, when you hit that switch, when you take them up that level, it's like they find another gear in that race car and they really start to come to life. Sounds to me like Alex Papanini is that guy there. You don't want to be the one there to make him bump that extra top gear, because if you do, he's going to make you pay in the form of positions gained out there on the racetrack as he takes it in right now, getting service done on that race car. They're going to jack him up in the air, put some fresh Hoosiers on there, try to pound out some of those dents. They'll send him back out there, get underway. Same for that 37 machine. He's currently on pit road right now, getting some work done on that Monte Carlo as well.
As we saw it, if you're the 37, I'm not going to put that on anybody. That's a racing deal. But Alex Papini was coming up the inside, and there was a huge checkup, and the 37 tried to take the line, tried to take the preferred line, where it's way out of sight. Kenny Storkson says 8 tires turn better than 4. Yeah, don't disagree with you. But like I said there, if you're the 37, writing's on the wall. You're not going to have the preferred line after a checkup like that.
No, you're certainly not. And this racetrack isn't the widest racing surface either. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're out of line, that car is out of shape, a lot of times that often ends up with contact, either that inside or that outside wall. But we're going to slow things down a little bit once again as we currently working under caution here tonight at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Alex Papanini, he's been to the front, he's been wrecked, he's had to come from the back again, finds himself in another unwanted situation out here on the racetrack. But James, this is what Papanini does, correct? This is how he thrives?
Absolutely. Alex Papini, he drives with the mindset, and I know we get a lot of grief for talking about it, but that's the mindset of a race car driver. And they're going to be talking after the race. 37's going to say, hey, you took me out. The 28's going to say, no, I didn't. You were slow. We'll leave that up to them. But obviously, you got to be aware on the racetrack that these guys are racing for money. This is an outlaw money race, so to speak, right now. This is winner take all. So Jackson Lewis right now is in that position. He's got a lot of laps left, though, it's too early to call it.
Yes, certainly too early to call. It's as good as anyone's race out there right now if you're on the lead lap. But look how clean these race cars are up near the front. Will that continue to play a story here as that pace truck pulls off and the 7 machine of Jackson Lewis, he is going to stand on the loud pedals. He fires off down into 1. He's going to work the center of that corner, going to come down, protect the low line in case that 3 machine's going to try to attack the situation. He doesn't. He gets a great run, and Jackson Lewis continues to carry the torch here. In close pursuit, James Polsky, though, in that 93 machine. In third, Grayson Ward. 4th machine, that's going to belong to Weston Ward. Rounding out your top 5, that's going to be Garrett Storiaja as they run right now in that 177 machine.
Absolutely, as there's a little bit of battle for third. Here's the 5 and the 3. James Pileski falling back a little bit farther back. We are got a V formation. Tristan Swanson in the 177. Garrett Sutoga holding off some folks. Of course, he's got that Meyer machine of that Alex Papini working through the field, and just watch him work.
Yeah, sometimes it's just awesome to sit back, and watch the racecraft, racemanship of a true wheelman, and you see that throughout all these different series throughout NASCAR, is he's patiently but aggressively working that outside line. And I know you're saying, Matt, what do you mean by that? But that's exactly what that 28 machine is doing. He's calculating his moves. He's knowing when he's going to pull the trigger and take a position, when not to. Because he knows if he doesn't execute, that's going to draw someone right up on his back bumper, and around he could go once again. So just great. Oh, as we currently have some 3 wide going up on the racetrack, and it looks like one of the front runners caught the wall.
Yeah, James Pileski got a little bit sideways there, kept it out of the wall, but not before losing about 10 laps as the 36. Brett McCoy working his way to the inside of the 3 here. As you know what, if you're in second place on these restart, if you're Grayson Ward, Weston Ward, lap car trying to get down pit road, a little bit of contact there, you pretty much got to be prepared to fall in line, because Jackson Lewis is so good at these restarts. He's going to get down. He's going to have the jump on you. You might as well resign yourself to trying to race him here when it's single file, because if you're on the outside of that 7, you're already behind the trigger. This man is a straight shooter, Wild West shootout, son of a gun. And Grayson Ward did that. He got down so he could live to fight another day, as he's going to try and get it under green here, working on the 7, the 6, and the 7. 6 not afraid of 7 here. He's going to work to the inside. Caution is out. Caution is out. 3 involved.
Just as a caution comes out, I mean, Grayson Ward, he had that night eaten, hooked up on the bottom side of the racetrack. Masterful driving, using those brakes, getting that car set in the corner, and just hooking, ripping the bottom of the racetrack as caution comes out. I was looking forward to that battle right there, just watching those two go to work, battling door to door. But hey, we're going to have to slow things back down before we can speed it back up again. And here we go up front. You're going to see that 7 machine, Jackson Lewis, peel off, come down pit road. He's going to be eyeing up some brand new Dr. Feelgoods for that race car. I'm surprised we didn't have any other takers on that caution flag.
Yeah, more drivers right now trying to take. Garrett Stratoga comes down. Jackson Lewis. Jackson Lewis is kind of off of everyone else's pit strategy. He decided to elect to come down on lap 30s, whereas everyone else up front right now came down lap 53, 61. I see a couple 62s on the board there.
Yeah, thank you for that. Now that's going to make sense, because for all intents and purposes, you pit from P2 like that, and no one comes down there with you. That's going to put you towards the back of the field, put you right back in the mayhem. But being off cycle, there's no way around that. I mean, unless you don't want fresh rubber on that race car, which we know is a premium here at North Wilkesboro.
Absolutely.
We continue here to watch these guys under caution right now, as we're currently working this race tonight here for you guys in prime time. Again, this is a championship bout. You got $100 payday. Mean green on the line. What do I mean by mean green? Well, that drivers are going to turn mean when they see that green, and that's going to make them do things they characteristically don't do out there on the racetrack each and every lap. And you're seeing that so far, as this has been a high octane bout from the drop of the green leg in this feature. Currently working lap 77 already, even with the caution flags. These laps continue to wind down, James. When do we start to see this pick up, go to the next level? Is it now? Is it 10 laps from now? Or is this just going to be all out from here on out?
You know what? These drivers have proven over and over and over again that they are going to go all out and try and get to the front. The biggest battle that we're going to see is now these drivers coming down pit road that are on the lead lap. Only 14 cars on the lead lap right now due to issues and different cautions out. So we got a couple fans for the 7, couple fans for Papini. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. As always, keep it civil, but hey, you got a little bit of something to say, we'd love to hear it for the most part, as long as it is civil. But be sure to hit that like button, as there you got the 1 to go. We're going to try and go to a side-by-side here. Hopefully we do better than Fox on their coverage of NASCAR, because, oh my gosh, I could do a whole podcast on how terrible they've been the last couple weeks. But try not to miss anything as we head to our side-by-side after they get rolling and get her straightened out. As green flag is out here, Grayson Ward and Weston Ward, the two brothers working on each other here on lap 79 of 150 of the J-Race Spicy Jerk Championship 150. Still working side by side, Grayson and Weston. Older brother leading them around. Anthony Donta, Tristan Swanson, Alex Papini there in fifth is the 60. It's the 5'10" of Anthony Donta, kind of playing roadblock here, trying to manage the lines.
Yeah, he's trying to play roadblock, manage the wide, and the Ward boys are putting on a clinic out front right now. They are battling it. They are going all out right now, full send around this racetrack. That 5 is doing everything he can to paint a beat on the back of that race car, but they are both rotating the center and getting off these corners. That 5 machine, you can watch Weston Ward try to really pound it in there, get all he can to get to that back bumper to make that 9 loose, move up just a little bit. But that 9 is doing just as good as that 5 is rotating the center. The 9 seems to have a slight advantage off, as those guys are basically running mirrored lap times right now, full out on the racetrack. Great battle up front as we currently go back to the 3rd position right there, rocking Nicole Trickle colors there in that 510 machine. That's going to be Anthony Dana. He's up he's up 8 positions from where he started. And don't count out Tristan Swanson in that 100 machine. He was up there earlier, could be in save mode right now, only waiting for that right time as we count the laps down to reassert himself at the top of the pylon.
Absolutely, as the Ward brothers trying to just maintain this lead. Not really too much aggression up front. They want to be able to say that, hey, we're going to be in it. You got to prepare for a green flag run, even if you don't think you're going to get one. And that's what they're doing right now. They showed before, I believe it was at a very similar track about 4 races ago, that they could battle it out. But overall, it's going to come down to how you manage from here on out. Because if we get a green flag run, you're looking at about 60 laps. And these drivers know that they do not want to get into each other for 1 and 2 and ruin the opportunity to be in this thing later in the race. No fast repairs. The crews are working with what they have. No backup cars as they are working it here as the 5 gets to the inside, thinks differently of it. As, oh no, they're going to battle. 5 on the inside and 9. Grayson Ward trying to hold off the brother Weston Ward as Weston works to the inside. He has the position on the inside coming into 1 and 2.
Yep, but the Ward brothers decided it's time to go to the battle. Flicks the switch down inside the cockpit of the race car, and that 5 machine is going to muscle his way, but the 9 is going to try the crossover dive bomb maneuver. As you see those big pops coming out this tight exhaust, he got hard off the gas, hard on the brakes, and thought twice about it. So we got to change back to the front. Now Weston Ward, he's going to carry the torch around this field here tonight, as these hungry swarm of bees, these active race car drivers are currently just putting on a clinic here right now in single car formation. They are driving fast, but they are driving hard, and they're showing you right now, if you slip 1 inch, they're going to take that position from you. They're not going to cut you a deal.
Absolutely, and these cars do not have the power to just rely on to make these passes. These are going to be skill passes. You got to get to the inside, cut them off, as the 7 of Jackson Lewis makes a smart choice, goes with the 28 of Alex Papini to get by Tristan Swanson there. And he is going to be moving on as now Jackson Lewis working on the inside for a little bit. That battle hurt the Ward brothers because right now Anthony Donta has the machine to get up there and challenge, and that closed the gap. So we got to figure out, if you're these top 3 drivers, how much are you okay with just kind of rocking and rolling as Jackson Lewis makes it to the inside of Papini here for 4th.
Yeah, you're right. These top 3 drivers need to settle this out in a hurry and get back to some high-flying, nitro-boosted laps around this racetrack. Get in formation, get single file, get close, but don't touch and run the daylights out of that race car. Try and put as much separation between you and the other competitors out there in this field. We've seen time and time again, anytime these cars are in close proximity, the threat of a caution is basically almost just about off the charts, and we're starting to see these drivers do that right now up at the front. They're running tight, single file, nose to tail, running the preferred fast line around this racetrack, and you're starting to see a little bit of a gap back to that 4th position there at Jackson Lewis.
Absolutely. We don't play favorites here at SRM. What we do is we play the odds. And Jackson Lewis and Alex Papini have the most combined wins of anyone. Other than them, I only think 3 drivers have won a race in this 10-race season. So those are the 2 that I would bet on, and because they're just wheelmen. This has been a battle all season long. Jackson Lewis would be in the running for a championship if he didn't have to miss a couple weeks. So keep an eye on that 7 as Weston Ward, Grayson Ward are leading right now, as now they're going to start running into lap traffic, and that adds a whole another dimension to these drivers. As we talked earlier, there's 2 lines. There's the defensive line and there's the fast line. Arcing into these corners, making it into a 3-point is obviously the fastest way around. You'll see them get to the inside, come up a little bit in the middle, and then right back to that inside line as they exit is the fastest way around. But if you're trying to defend, if you're Jackson Lewis, or I'm sorry, Anthony Donta, you're driving that defensive line because you want to keep that inside covered. That's not the fastest way around the track.
No, it's certainly not the fastest way around the track, but Action Jackson continues to pull the pressure on that 510 machine as he's going to pull the crossover maneuver, and suddenly the 7's on the inside of the racetrack, pushing that 510 machine to the top side. Let's see if he can rotate that corner. He's going to slide up a little bit. He's going to get hard back on the gas pedal as they drag race back down into 3.
Absolutely, as the 7 has a position. Anthony Papini trying to make his way around as well, but not able to do so, as the 510 now trying to work out the front and the back windshield, as he's got Alex Papini on the inside trying to catch Jackson Lewis. That's going to slow him down exponentially as the Ward brothers are gone. They got about half a second gap back to Jackson Lewis, but he is going to be on the way. This man can make moves, and he is showing it right now.
Yeah, as these laps start to wind down, you can see the 28 machine of Alex Papini. He is really starting to come out of military power and go into full-blown afterburner, if you will, on the racetrack, as it's not delivery, it's Papini knocking on the back door of that 510.
That's going to be your battle for 4th. Oh, Jackson Lewis gets into the wall a little bit. That's going to slow him down, as he does have the freshest tires on the track. Last came in lap 74. As Papini works to the inside of Donta there. Lets him know, hey, I'm here, and I'm going to take this position away from you if you're not watching out. And then, of course, Tristan Swanson, the 100, he wants to be in it. Oh, as they make contact.
Big contact, slide job. Not the Dale Earnhardt kind, as he pulls off a miraculous save. And we continue under green flag, probably one of the best saves I've seen in quite some time out there on the racetrack. That had disaster all over it, but not for these guys. Like you said, they are wheelman, and we continue to go green flag racing around this racetrack. But that, James, was a moment.
Let's take a look as we are lined out here. Everybody trying to figure each other out now for the last 50 laps. Papini's on the inside here. And, gives him just a little bit of that right side. Bent him out of shape and makes the pass. Rubbin's racing his short tracks, but Alex Papini, he's got a whole nother season with these guys, and you got to watch out because that is something that people remember, is how you pass. But Alex Papini just doesn't care. He's been in the lead a couple times. He's won some races, the champion for a reason, and to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's what we're seeing. But Weston Ward and Grayson Ward, or Weston specifically, is gone. Grayson has showed in that 9, and now he's got Jackson Lewis on the inside, or right behind him there, making a little bit of a run, because he's just got a rearview mirror full of Jackson Lewis.
Yeah, he's got more than a rearview mirror full. He's got everything full in that 7 machine. His Action Jackson Lewis continues to charge his way back to the front. He's going to get a good run down on the inside. Oh, look at the squeeze job. He's going to try to force him down, but he's going to get slideways off. That's not going to give him a good run down the straightaway. That's going to allow the 7 to reel him back in. Has a slight advantage as they come out of 3 and 4.
Still bumping these late models. If you know how to drive them, you can lean on each other. The biggest things, though, is these bodies are soft, and if you get those tires to touch, that is going to make you. That is a lot of trouble. So them knowing, hey, I'm exactly lined up. I'm going to get you that outside wall, and he's going to make the pass. Is now Jackson Lewis, who has the fastest time of the race here. Just about. The only one better is Thomas Frisch, who, if you remember, Thomas came and won the Consi race, or not the Consi, the last chance qualifier. So keep an eye on that 54 to make it up. Those of you that are in the chat, you see that we do have a poll going. Who you think is going to win right now? Alex Papini has the advantage, but Jackson Lewis is close. You're kind of telling on yourselves, guys. Go ahead and hit that like button for us. Help these drivers and Ritchie Smoking Barbecue get out in front of more people. Tells the YouTube algorithm to watch, and it suggests it. for more people. So that's how you can help out these drivers. We don't make a dime for that, but Ritchie's Smoking Barbecue gets a little bit more of that publicity they paid for us. We appreciate them, as well as J Ray's Smoking Beef Jerky as well. So those websites are in the description. Go ahead and give those a look. It is absolutely worth it. The same way you support our small tracks to get them alive. You saw North Wilkesboro make its way back. Nashville Super Speedway came back from the dead. This is the best way to do it. Hit that like button. Get these people that support these iRacing leagues a little bit extra publicity. That's what they're paying for. Is usually what these guys, they don't really expect anything in return. They're just doing this because they love racing. But go ahead and give them the shout out. Go give that website some clicks, some views, and help them out. As we got a little bit more votes for Alex Papini, as Jackson Lewis is showing that he deserves those votes. Here in second place, reeling in your leader, Weston Ward.
Yeah, you give me the votes and I'll lead the charge. That's what Jackson Lewis is kind of also trying to spin off here right now as he makes his political stance towards the front of the field here. Currently up 8 positions. He is returned back to that second place position. Just the second runner-up. Who wants to finish second in this one, especially when there's a $100 prize on the line? But James, when I watch this man attack this racetrack, I see a very smart, determined Chelsea race car driver that knows how to manage the field, manage his car, and manage the racetrack. And as we're currently working lap 114 already, he's making his way to the front. He's right on schedule. Papini as well. Are these guys going to run out of time? Do we have another caution? So many variables, so many things that can instantly change this race in a moment. But right now, I feel really good where that 7 is right now as he's continuing to turn fast laps around the racetrack. And that 5 machine is seeing the front of that race car getting a little bit bigger in his mirror each and every lap.
As we take a look at the lap times, he is closing incrementally here, but no love for Weston Ward. We're going to go ahead and give him some love. Weston has made his way up here, 18 positions gained in that 5 machine. The tires have all but leveled off here. It's going to come down to fuel, as if these cars can make 100 laps with the tanks that they've got. And just taking a look at the lap times, it's only a matter of time before Jackson gets up there, but he's got to take advantage of the tires he has. As we work into lap traffic, that's also going to heat him up. As Weston he's had a race taken away from him by fuel. It's been close. Grayson as well, as he's got Papini behind him. But you're just watching. If you're Papini, Tristan Swanson, Anthony Donta, you're hoping for something. You don't want to make it happen, but I wouldn't put it past some of these drivers. But they are absolutely. Weston Ward has got to find a faster line as he's working through here. Grayson Ward now battling with the league owner Papini there.
Yeah, big battles going on all over the racetrack. You mentioned faster line, but sometimes slower is faster around that racetrack. Maybe not right now, but maybe 10 to 15 laps from now. Remember, you said it yourself, those brakes, those are small. Small brake rotors, they get really hot, red hot, especially under hard braking action. So maybe slow it down just a little bit, back up your corners, let that race car come back to you a little bit, let it cool down, and at least give yourself one more shot to push towards the front. You got to try to do something different right now because these first 3 cars are kind of getting away from everybody. As outside the top 5, we're starting to see seconds upon seconds in differential as we go back through the field. But big shout out to Weston Ward, up 18 spots here tonight, leading the charge around this racetrack, and it's able currently still to hold off that high-flying 7 machine right now, who's currently in second. And don't look now, look who's in third. Alex Papini, the fan favorite vote so far, as it was at least in the last update, James. He's still up 11 spots as he runs right now.
Absolutely, and these drivers are getting into something that the leader does not want to see unless he can manage it effectively, and it's something that we haven't really had to battle with. These guys race pretty quick races. 150 laps is the longest they've raced all season long. So catching lap traffic, now we're going to see the real drivers. Now it's the lap times to try and make it. But as we talk about Jackson Lewis storming up the field, Weston Ward has gapped him, put about 0.7. He is gaining over and over again. As we take a look here, the gap increasing every lap. He has found his groove, and he has found the lap cars where he wants them. He has it for 125 and 150. If you haven't put your votes in yet, Annie Ward is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, Ward is looking great as these lap cars are also cutting him a break because we also know, we said early on, don't make enemies early. And if you're the leader, sometimes you forget about all those guys you did early on. And when you have to go to 3 lanes of traffic because you got to run the lap line now, which is coming into play, if you did some of these guys dirty, believe me, they can impact the outcome of your race by holding you up on the racetrack. And that's exactly the opposite of what Weston Ward is doing right now, is these lap cars. Oh, we got someone stopped just a lane down from the outside wall. That's got to bring out a caution. That was almost disastrous there. Good heads-up driving there by Weston Ward to get out of the gas pedal, because if he was in it, he could have been in it.
As we take a look what happened here, as this was necessary, Weston Ward came over the radio to his crew chief and said, buddy, I'm about 3 laps short. I think, that was Randy Sargent. He said he looked up to check his chat, wasn't seeing the racetrack there, and hit the outside wall as Lottie Dottie, everybody going to come down pit road.
Yeah, unfortunately, those walls don't move. They're fixated. They're concrete. And if you look away, if you look just off of the racing surface just for a minute out the front of that race car, you're going to find yourself coming to a stop quick, fast, in a hurry. As that unfolded just right out front of the lead pack here. Another situation out here on the racetrack where that could have been much worse. But luckily the case for Western Ward, the 177, the 87 of Brett Edmonds, Brett McCoy, just go down the list throughout the top 5. That was certainly not the case. As you see here, Western Ward, he's going to come down here. He's going to put 4 Dr. Feelgoods on that race car. You would hope you'd still have one left in the bank, or the ace up your sleeve right now for this last short stint. Those Dr. Feelgoods would come in big time with a pack of cars with unworn race tires. That was a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah, Weston Ward electing not to come down the first time around, that could be killer because a lot of drivers did. Up to second place, Jackson Lewis, he was the one who said he was low on fuel, and he ends up coming down for fuel and right sides. Looks like right side's the choice for a lot of these drivers up front. That is going to be killer for Weston Ward, as he did not come down the first time around. He waited. He wanted the pit road to be a little less crowded, but luckily for him, only 14 drivers on the lead lap.
Some could say this is just a normal day in the office for Western Ward. Calm, cool, collected, knows how to execute, hit his marks. We've seen it out there. That last run was masterful at Dyson through lap traffic. Let's see how he is climbing back through the field as we kind of change positions here a little bit, as all these guys that he's right around right now are on the lead lap and have been up front at times. Specifically, Tristan Swanson, I believe he was up there leading early on in this one. And believe me, these drivers are not going to make it easy for the 5.
Absolutely. And Gerrit Chatoga, he came down lap 74. He elects to stay out this time around. He's going to have the button. Jackson Lewis, Anthony Dante, Alex Papini, and Lottie Dottie, everybody else comes down pit road. So he's got his, you know what? If you're Gerrit Chatoga, you got to take a risk. These guys around you are fast. Come down pit road, see if you can make something happen here. As here we go, getting them lined up for the green flag. Gerrit Chatoga gets a jump. Jackson Lewis on that outside still, as Alex Papini trying to work the inside. 3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide for the lead, and the 177 is the meat in the sandwich. Oh, no! Almost disaster strikes, and it does unfold as the 7's unable to hold on and is collected by multiple cars. At least it seemed that way, as we currently shifted cameras back to the front, and it does. Caution unfolds once again on the racetrack. Certainly exactly what the 5 machine wanted to see, but not what Action Jackson wanted to see there, as he found himself in the sandwich and gets caught up in it late in this one.
5 involved as well. 5 came in late and got a hit. So Weston Ward, that was bad. So that's old tires, folks. Old tires and skill coming into it, and the 177 comes up and grabs the 7. He tries to save it, and then it's just both the Wards involved. Hard hit on the 7. See if he's going to make it through, but if you're a betting man or woman, Alex Papini, the aggressiveness pays off. He's going to be your leader As Grayson Ward involved, Weston Ward looked like that damage might be too much for him to overcome.
Yeah, I thought he had it saved there for a split second. It almost looked like it, and that was not the case, as those Ward boys who put on a show at the front of the field at times were bad fast, find themselves here now with broken, torn up race cars. And look who's right on cue. It's like this man has Lady Luck on his side, the Lucky Rabbit's foot inside the car. The 13 has the lead, the Clean Air, when we go back to racing, as we continue to look at that damaged 7 machine, who was basically up front just racing for the lead 3 wide moments ago. That's got to be heartbreaking.
It does, but I tell you, look at the 136 or the 154. Thomas Frisch. Take a look at the Heat 1 results. Tell me who's up top there. Thomas Frisch won the last chance qualifier, has kept it clean. Now he's going to be starting outside of Alex Papini when we go green here with about 14 laps left to go. The Cinderella story from Beloit, Wisconsin, is going to be starting outside of the champion, trying to win himself a cool $100 race purse as they come into the final stretch of this thing.
Yeah, sometimes getting put in those positions, we've seen at times, it lights a fire of passion under that race car driver, knowing that he was in a last chance qualifier, and we've seen drivers at times elevate their game. Could this be the 136's moment of a lifetime? Up 27 spots from where he started. We know who the fan favorite is, that 13. But can the guy from the last chance qualifier, who essentially everyone wrote off this race, has survived, has been alive, and now has a chance to go for the win here tonight as those lights go off on that pace truck? What a story.
Oh, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. It's going to be single file here. Alex Papini's probably cheering, but just as much, Thomas Frisch is probably cheering as well, as he is going to not have to contend with anyone else. It's going to be one-on-one here, 15 laps to go. Thomas Frisch and Alex Papini up front. Alex gets a huge jump as the 54 gets a bump from behind on the 3.
Yeah, he gets howitzer in the back. Oh my God!
No!
No! Oh, James, as much as you didn't want to see that, you felt it coming. I can hear it in your voice. I felt it. It's like sometimes a sixth sense. Up here in the broadcast booth, you certainly don't want to put it into fruition, but that had disaster written all over it. And just as we were talking about the 54 machine, disaster strikes once again on the racetrack. Oh, heartbreak after heartbreak, but that's how these races go. It's the survival of the fittest, especially when you throw some money here on the line. These drivers give everything they got each and every lap. And that's just a byproduct of hard racing going full send. You see these guys are going to come back down pit road. If they have any tires left at this point in time in the pits, might as well put them on the race car. Don't go home with tires left in the bank. If you know what, that's the way at least I look at it as a race car driver. If I have an opportunity to go out there and pass some more cars, that's what I want to do. As the 54 though drives through the pits, that's going to also help these laps under caution. Are going to help that 28 machine, who's up 13 spots right now. Still got a clean-looking race car. Car's in good shape. That Monte Carlos has all 4 fenders on it. But look who's sitting off just the back of Alex Papini. That's going to be Anthony Donna in that 510. And look who's also come back into the picture from early on. That's the 100 of Tristan Swanson, rounding out your top 3. As we continue here under caution here late in this one from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, as we see the pace lights or the lights go back on that Chevrolet Silverado one more time. So we're going to delay the green flag, I believe, here, and we're going to go at least another lap around here at minimum, as those lights are still on the pace truck as we try to get this field sorted out. So guys at home, place your bets. Is it going to be the 28, the fan favorite? Is Mr. Tried and True come from behind 510 going to bring it home? Is Tristan Swanson going to make the comeback. He was leading earlier on in this one, kind of fell back. This could be his plan, his strategy. Knew it all along. Fall back, save your car for when it counts. He's got a good, clean-looking race car. Or is it going to be someone further on back? We're all here about to find out here in prime time at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, the J-Race Spiky Jerk champion 150. Alex Papini, that 3 machine just cleaned out Thomas Frisch, but it's not over. These guys, this is for money. This is an outlaw race. You ain't got to fix your car, so you might as well go out there and give it all you got. It is not over with 1 to go. Alex Papini's going to be lead. It's just going to matter who can get to him, because at Wilkesboro, you got to be careful. That bump and run is deadly, as we see Alex Papini guarding that outside. Gets rolling down the front stretch. Huge jump as Dodge comes down in front of Tristan Swanson. Tristan Swanson's going to have to work the outside, but the tire's a little bit too old for it, as in comes Scott Gardner to his inside.
Yeah, he's currently under duress and losing spots, going the wrong way late in this one. And those tires, when they go bad, they go bad. And as a race car driver, you just feel helpless. Oh, we got a big power slide. What a save by that, I believe, that 3 machine there in the back, as that had disaster written all over it. Alex Papini continues to carve his way through North Wilkesboro at a high-paced manner, I might add. This man is flying in that Mayer machine around this racetrack, but holding strong in that second position, that 510 machine and that 100, they are holding their ground right now. They're not going anywhere, as they're not letting the 28 get away easily, at least this time.
No, and you got to be in it at the end. You got to be ready for the bump, as Alex Papini's got to be thinking here. As Anthony Donta just put down the fastest lap of the race, 18.92. He is pushing, trying to get to the back of that 28 of Alex Papini. Going to be here when it counts for the $100 purse. We have 5 laps left to go, less than a minute of racing if all goes well, but we do have overtime.
Yeah, all goes well. We do have overtime. But the 28 machine right now doesn't want to hear anything about overtime or caution flags, as he continues to blister around this half-mile oval here in the heart of North Carolina. Trying desperately, giving it everything they have, driving that car onto the edge of grip and performance. That 510 and the 100 of Tristan Swanson, trying anything they can possibly can just to reel in that 28 machine just a little bit. Get him to look up in that rearview mirror. Have him miss that corner entry just a little bit. Slip. Do something. What can I do as a race car driver right now as time is running out, as Panini continues to carry the torch here around the speedway?
Yeah, Panini, I like it. Alex Papini working it. This guy's a race car driver. He's in the lead. He doesn't give a crap about what's going on in that rearview mirror. As Alex Papini, Anthony Donta, Tristan Swanson, Anthony just trying to get up there. As the white flag is in the flagman's hand, he is ready to wave it as they come around last lap here at the J-Race Spicy Jerky Championship. The 150, Alex Papini, it's his race to lose as he enters 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's going to rocket through 1 and 2. He's going to get a good launch as he goes down the backstretch. One final time here. He's going to come down into the corner, ease back on the brake pedal, roll the center, working the low side of the racetrack as he picks up the throttle. He survived and alive. Your winner here tonight, checkmate, $100. That's going to be your winner right now, the 28 fan favorite of Alex Papini. But a big shout out to the 510 of Anthony Donta and the 100 of Tristan Swanson, as they definitely gave it everything they had. But sometimes these fans seem to know more than what we do, James. And they called this one. The 28 had the guts, had the drive, the determination to drive through this field several times. He was out front when it mattered, and he is your winner here tonight as he gets ready here to burn the house down in prime time. So we see him here going.
Alex Papini burning it down the front stretch, going backwards for the win. Call it what you want, but that win was earned from start to finish. Had some issues. Now he's going to try and do everything he can in championship mode is Alex Papini.
Yeah, in championship mode, championship form. You know, as a race car owner, if I was ever one, I'd always ask myself, what driver out there, how bad do you want it? And clearly no one wanted it better, wanted it more than that 28 machine. Great to see him get rise to the occasion, go ahead and execute, because he had some stiff competition all throughout this field of drivers tonight. It was anything but easy. And from the drop of the green flag, he was working just as hard as he possibly could, lap after lap, throughout the 150 laps right here at this one. He's your victor here tonight as we get ready to go through and interview your top three.
Absolutely. I see you, chat. But tell you what, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Alex Papini was in the car just like everybody else. What an absolute run, as we are going to talk to your race winner, Alex Papini, and the champion. Alex, tell us about those last couple laps.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going. We're probably not as happy as you are, able to come in and win the $100 purse and the championship icing on the cake. Tell us about that race and coming to the back.
Yeah, we knew it was probably going to play out to be a strategy deal. We had 2 sets of tires in the pits, so it's kind of when you took them and staying out of trouble, man. I mean, as much as I feel like everybody still did a really good job tonight, but it's still just freaking close quarters, and you're right on somebody's door the whole time. And I got somebody checked up in front of me, and I got spun around there, and I yelled on the chat deal, so I'm coming back on the track, or whatever, and they all just piled in the back of me still. But hated that deal happened. But no, this was a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun the last 10 weeks. Huge thanks to Ritchie Smoking Barbecue, J Ray's Jerky, All Pro Sim for everything they've helped us do here. We're going to do this every winter from now on, so we're going to have a little bit more help next year doing it as far as admin wise, and really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, you came from about a midway field through there. You had some competition, just the luck on your side yet again, and able to win this thing. You already did your shout outs, but tell us about that paint job before we let you go.
Oh yeah, it's a cool old school throwback paint job to a good buddy of my dad's, Jim Weber. Feel like I need to keep running it because we had a lot of good luck with it. They were good buddies and stuff, so it's cool to do this with that paint job. And it was a tough race tonight. There was guys that were fast. So both of the wards, they got tore up. They were fast. Jackson Lewis was fast again. He got tore up. I figure that's probably that's just karma, I think, for him for not running with us the last 2 or 3 weeks. I feel like he had that coming to himself, I guess. But other than that, for the most part, we had a few bad apples here through the season that we've kind of weeded out and whatnot. It's been a great little stretch here. I'm glad you guys were part of it. We will be back again next year.
Absolutely. Well, good run again, good championship, as we are going to end it here. Alex, again, man, congratulations on the championship, and hopefully we'll talk to you once the season for All Pro Sim starts up.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much. We'll looking forward to next winter already.
There you go. So, folks, that is going to do it. That is the kind of racing that we like to see here from the All Pro Sim guys. Mr. Metler, how do you feel about the racing you saw from All Pro Sim?
I haven't been this fired up in a long time. I almost feel cheated that I didn't get to watch this entire Winter Series played out. If it was anything like I seen here tonight, just from the drop of any form of racing out there around the racetrack, the last chance qualifier was hot. The main was next level. These guys, they were serious. They wanted it. They knew what was on the line, and they put on a show. The storylines, the heartbreak, the highs. Alex Papini, we just spoke to him. I'm sad that this is going to be a one and done for me up here.
Yeah, absolutely. But it has been a blast. And yes, we did not interview the top three just because they are not in the Discord. So we can't interview them if they're not here. We'd love to hear from Anthony Donta, Tristan Swanson. I'm sure we'll hear from more of them as the race goes on, as we get into the All Pro Sim. We're going to be doing this Monday nights for a while. They have secured funding for some more broadcasting, and we are excited to bring it to you. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for myself, for Matt Mettler in the booth, and for Sim Racing Media. We appreciate all of your patronage this year, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.